All right, welcome to another episode of the Unnamed Sports Podcast. It's been a while.
Yes,
We've taken a break. I'm sure people have been like, "Where are these guys? What did they?"
We're on games anyway. So it doesn't.
Yeah, I'm Brian
Not
Hill,
Rob.
and we're back now with a new episode.
Yep.
We'll talk a little bit of NBA playoffs. We'll talk a little bit about the AL East, and we will unfortunately have to dive into the Bruins,
The demise
the sad
of the best team ever.
Yeah. Should we start there?
Sure. It doesn't matter.
I will say I think we probably talked about this, but there's no sport like hockey when it comes to the 8th seed just coming in and wrecking. And I knew that going in, and I'm not even a Bruins fan, but I was rooting for the Bruins to do more than that. Like I felt I was watching Game 7, and I just had a gut feeling that Florida was just going to go.
I did not think that the Bruins were going to be able to make it through all the series. I just didn't. They would have had to either play Toronto or Tampa Bay, which would have ended up being Toronto. But then, there's a lot of teams avalanching their way, and I just didn't think physically they could do it.
Yeah.
I thought their defense was so good, and it ended up letting them down so bad.
Well, I mean, they're so tired.
I know. I know. It was truly incredible. I want to talk about this guy. His name is Paul Maurice. He's the coach of Florida. Last year, Florida was supposed to win the Stanley Cup.
Okay.
Either them or the Avalanche. The Avalanche won. And they got rid of their coach, and they got this guy, Paul Maurice. I listened to him at the beginning, and he said, well, we're going to play our rookie goaltender. And they played that guy for 2 games. They won one, they lost one. But it kind of got them pumped up. He is 3-0 in lifetime in 7th games. And now he's 4-0.
Knows what he's doing.
And he was pressing the right buttons. I mean, Tkachuk there was just being a pain in the neck to everybody.
Yeah.
And I could see that Bergeron wasn't healthy. I could see Krejci wasn't healthy. And, people like Pastrnak scores 60 goals. But they're not the dependable goals that win games.
Yeah.
They're the goals that fill up the stat sheet. You know what I mean? So it was really interesting to watch them just run out of gas.
Yeah. I only really watched the end because I was hoping that they were going to pull it out. And so I was sitting there watching it. And then of course it's like in the last minute, I thought that was just so tragic. The last minute you're so close. It's 59 seconds left, and then boom, they score.
Yeah.
And I think that was a backbreaker. I mean, you go into overtime, but it's you've already lost. Like that goal is almost like a 2-goal goal.
But even before that, they couldn't even make 2 passes together.
Yeah,
for about
I noticed that
2
too.
periods. They
couldn't get it out of the zone.
It was like they just put their skates on like they were 9 years old. I mean, I was like, what is going on here? It was.
It's also, I think, honestly, if I am a hockey coach going forward, I don't care about what seed I get unless it's the 8th seed, or if I'm in the 9th seed, then I can't get in. But my main goal should be, how do I get these guys to the end rested and ready to go? Because the playoffs is a whole different animal.
It is. Look in basketball now, where Golden State didn't try to get really far.
Mm-hmm.
The Lakers now 7th seed. They were in the play-in game. The Heat, who were almost out of it, and now they beat Milwaukee, and now they're. You know what I mean? There's a different take on all this now. It's more about
preservation,
being healthy.
Exactly. Because even like when you look at the NFL, it's a short season, and big injuries do happen. That's why a team that stays healthy, they go the longest. And I think the Eagles were an example of that. Like no one was getting injured. They played, and Kansas City for the most part was in the same space. So it was a tough one. I don't often root for a Boston team. I'm saying that. I'm not sitting there like, oh man, I really hope that was the only time I was like, I hope this team pulls it out.
My 2 favorite Bruins really of all time I've ever watched since I was a kid, Bergeron and Krejci. I've always loved them both. They're not crazy hockey players, but they were talented guys
Yeah.
and hardworking guys. And I think they both came back thinking that they might get enough ammunition to go all the way, which didn't work out. But so that's why I really like them a lot. It's, crapshoot. All sports, all playoffs, you just never know.
Yeah,
you
never know.
You don't know nowadays. Somebody gets hurt, or you just don't know. So that's what makes it exciting, because everybody's in it. Who would have thought? I mean, the Knicks had a great year. They, I thought Cleveland was going to win it. Donovan.
That was the whole thing. It was. We can move on to the.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
but no, it's a good transition. There's one thing you need to know about all Knick fans, is that it's a tragic relationship.
Yes.
It's an abusive relationship. You love them dearly, but in the end, you're like, what have they done for me? Yeah. And they don't do much. But this team,
yeah.
And it's also funny, like the Knick. There's never been like a Knick team like in the recent years, and like these that has like. I mean, we had Carmelo Anthony and stuff like that, but like the big name stars aren't really playing on the Knicks. I mean, Carmelo Anthony is one of the biggest names you could have, but the Knicks always have this like workman's.
Yes.
Yes. And it's like, it's in the big city,
yeah,
but somehow they have this like workman kind of crew that they put together. And I was honestly really surprised at how they handled Cleveland. And Donovan Mitchell has disappeared. In like the playoffs in the last couple of years. He just disappeared.
He scored 50 points on the Celtics twice.
Yeah, and he just goes away.
He was the big free agent, Paul, really, of the last, for them to get him, Cleveland.
Yeah,
was you would have thing. I guess Danny Ainge didn't want him in Utah, or you know what I mean? And it's kind of an odd thing. I like their team. I'm a big Thibodeau fan.
I do like.
You get sick of him. All of a sudden, you're like,
well, it's one of those things where I think he outlives his welcome, because he's probably really tough. But you can see that. I think for this Knicks team, I think that they like him. I think he's a good fit for New York.
Yeah.
New York needed discipline. They needed like good defense. And what's crazy though is that they're going against this Heat team that, like, I don't understand. Jimmy Butler,
I know,
comes out of nowhere and always just becomes the most dominant guy in the league. They lost Tyler Hero, and I thought, they lost Tyler Hero. They're not going to be able to beat the Bucks. They go and just dismantled the Bucks.
Then they lost Oladipo, who came in for Hero.
Yeah,
he's out for the year. Then they lose Jimmy Butler,
and they're still.
and that that Strus guy who was on the Celtics.
Yeah,
he loves putting it to the Celtics because he was on the Celtics for 2 10-day contracts, and they got rid of him, and he went to Miami.
Okay.
And then there's I forget his name. There's he's a guard. He's a little guy, and he can shoot lights out.
Oh no, he was shooting. I can't remember his name. He was shooting out lights out the last game.
Even though they lost, he was holding them in. And I'm like, who,
That's why I don't know anybody on their team.
No,
I love sports, but
even Bam Adebayo, he's really good, but he's all alone. You know what I mean?
But it seems they have Eric Spoelstra is a great coach.
Yeah,
and I think in the early part of his career, people were like, "Who is this guy?" He was gift wrapped that was built with superstars, so you couldn't really see how good of a coach he was. But the fact of the matter is that he is really good because they've always been around. They're always pushing, despite what you'd think is a weak.
What I also see, how they have the candid shots, like in New York, there's everybody. You know what I mean? You see everybody in the crowd. Miami has Alonzo Mourning sitting there like he's gonna beat the heck out of somebody.
Well, he's always been that.
Oh, I know. It's really funny, but that's their kind of persona. You know what I mean?
Well, the Knicks, it's funny because when you see the Knicks win, the Knicks fans are completely insane. They're like in the crowd, losing their minds, and then in the streets, they're jumping around. They're like hugging people that they've never met. It's insane the amount of love that they give when they're wrapped up in winning. But I still think this is going to be a tough series.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler will be back. There's no doubt that he'll come back.
Yeah.
And the Knicks are going to, my whole fear with them is when they play against a person or a really, really good scorer, like somebody like Jimmy Butler, or a team that can score really, really well, the question is, can the Knicks match the scoring? Brunson is awesome.
Yeah.
Randall is awesome, but I don't always look at them as like these streaky scorers.
I don't know. That's really the issue. Is Josh Hart really a scorer?
No, he's not.
He's a defensive guy.
That's the thing. They're a defensive kind of team, and the question is, how long can that go for?
And I don't even know who's the big guy that plays center. I didn't even know who he was.
There's a lot of dudes who you're like, where are these people even from? I don't know what.
But it's great for the sport, I think.
Oh yeah.
I was tired of Milwaukee because whenever they get into a situation, there's 4 guys that just stand on the side, and he loads up like a bull and just goes. It just goes, and he's either gonna get fouled or he's gonna stuff it, and
that's just basically the game plan. But it didn't work.
Well, because when you sometimes have to throw it out, and the guy hasn't made a shot all day or hasn't even taken a shot.
Yeah, he's not warm.
Yeah. They were all dependent on Chris Middleton. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We finally got him, and he's on 2 legs. You know what I mean? But
exactly.
Didn't work out that way.
No. I guess we can move on to Boston. The Celtics have been playing. So you said that you were sick after the first game.
I almost did not watch the game last night. I almost didn't.
Last night's game was one of those games. If you're a fan of a team, you're just like, good. This is it. It washes you clean from whatever else. It was insane when I was watching it. I was like, how are they ever gonna miss a 3? They took 1,000,000 threes, and they made damn near all of them.
50-something threes.
Yeah, they're just going to keep going. They're going to shoot themselves. The thing is, that's a game where I'm almost like, you got to save some of those threes for next time, because I feel like your luck runs out.
Yeah.
I know Golden State would probably be they can probably do that, but I didn't think, if you told me that Tatum was going to have
7 points.
7 points, and that they were going to
one basket,
and they were going to win by 30 to 40 points. No one's going to believe that.
Well, I'm going to get lambasted for saying this, but everybody loves Tatum, but it's kind of like the Giannis thing. I'm just going to dribble it for 20 seconds, and then I'm going to flip-de-doo, and wait a minute. There's 4 guys here. Do something. Make something happen. Get it back. Give it a go. Something. That doesn't do that. And if it's going, it's going. If it's not going, then he pouts. And it's time on 4 going the other way. And
the solo show.
I hate that.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
And that's why when when you look at certain teams that are left, and you're like, it's not just about this one person. I think Boston did prove something last night, though, that it's like, oh, they're capable. And if he's willing to understand that, they can be insanely dangerous.
So what's going to happen in the next game? Is he going to be like, okay, I'm putting up 35?
Yeah, I don't know.
No matter whether we win or lose, because nobody's paying attention to me today.
Well, it's gonna be interesting, because it's gonna also depend on if everybody else is shooting lights out like that.
I know,
because everybody was shooting from everywhere, and it didn't seem to matter. And you could just tell Joel Embiid is just like. He's like, what are you like? And he didn't even look that good last night.
No, they were saying, oh, he doesn't look bad. He got fouled twice where he fell over like a tree. It was just like, oh my gosh, and it really changed it up because, Harden had to give it up instead.
Yeah.
And I can't stand watching Harden play either, because it's just him and the ball.
That first game was like vintage, and he was just unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
So, but do you think, if you're gonna, we're here, we got to make a pick of some kind. Do you think the Celtics? I think the Celtics will handle it.
Well, so far, but it could change tomorrow. And one of the things about the Celtics, almost other than any other team, everybody's still healthy. Marcus Smart's a little bit banged up, but everybody's still healthy. If Robert Williams goes down, or if Brogdon goes down, even for a couple of games, all bets are off.
It's true.
You know what I mean? And everybody's dealing with that. The Suns,
the Suns, we can talk about that series too. The Suns, and that's another team where it's like they basically have like 2 dudes right now. And when you look at Denver is a team that no one seems to want to talk about.
Yeah.
Even though they're the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
And they have like this gigantic freak on their team.
Yeah.
Who I don't even understand. Like when you look at Jokic play, it doesn't even make sense how this guy is putting up the numbers that he puts up.
That is basketball in the 1950s.
That's what's funny. It's like if you like people are like, I don't know if that game translates to today. It's like there it is. He plays that style of like it doesn't make any sense. He guys handle. He has insane. His IQ is like off the charts.
And Murray's got his mojo back.
Murray, yeah, he was off last game.
Oh, was he?
Also,
I didn't see that really.
He was way off. Like, but the fact of the matter is that Jokic was playing so well.
Yeah.
And when he plays well, it means that the whole team plays well.
And I like their what's his name, the big power forward there that used to be on Orlando. Big guy. They tried to get him on the Celtics too. They've always wanted him. Anyways, he's defensive.
Not Beasley, is it? No.
No.
I think I know which guy.
And then they have Porter,
Yeah.
Well,
they've been together too. That squad has been together for a while.
They really have, you know what I mean? And they fly under the radar. You know what? I thought Jokic should have been MVP again.
Oh, yeah.
I think he definitely should. I found out last night that Embiid has played only 65% of the Sixers games this year. And Jokic played 90-something.
I mean, that in itself should be, that should make it.
All the lobbying for a year and a half is finally.
Well, he's got it, and he'll probably exit pretty soon. I mean, I don't see Philly winning, and I don't see the Suns winning against a team like Denver.
Yeah,
you have like a really good squad, but you just lost your main guy, one of your main guys. Chris Paul goes out with a groin injury. He's out for at least a week. They're not going to have time to come back.
No, well,
and they're deep.
I've never liked Chris Paul. It's something about him. He just doesn't ever seem to get it accomplished. All those years with the Clippers. I mean, they can go. He's been on every team in the league. It seems like
he's always right there.
Right there.
But something unfortunately always happens.
And you think, with Booker and what's his name,
Durant,
they could carry him. Ayton never seems interested enough to really.
Well, they play like 6 guys. And then Denver has an entire team. They're just out there. And I know that they tried. They, like the Suns tried to play more people, and like the bench had like 7 points. Like they don't score.
They gave up a lot to get Durant. You know what I mean?
Well,
those are those guys that were on the Knicks and the Nets that I know that they didn't look too good, but I really like the guys that they got.
Yeah. No, the Nets.
The guy, who is it? Who's the guy that they got back? He wasn't on the Nets. He was on the Nets, then he wasn't. I forget. He shot terrible in that series. I think they're pretty good, and I think that they get a bunch of number 1 picks too now.
Oh yeah, they'll be fine.
I think they're going to be good.
They're going to be good. I think the day of the superstar, there's only like a certain amount that you can really have.
And I like what's his name, the coach.
Oh yeah. I mean,
just like we have to talk a little bit about Darvin Ham, who could have been the coach of Milwaukee, because
I didn't even know,
because he was a assistant coach there for 5 years, and Budenholzer was supposed to leave.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he didn't, and
I didn't even realize.
Ham went to L.A. and
there's a bunch of good new coaches out there.
I don't know all of these. They got this Austin Reeves guy, and Schroeder throws in a couple of shots. And
Austin Reeves is the man. And you want to talk about a weird series? I mean, I think Golden State. I can never go against Golden State.
I know,
because Steph Curry is a freak of nature, and they play really good defense, and they have enough guys who can shoot.
Yeah,
but it's weird watching the way that the Lakers are playing. Because LeBron James is like not even, he's like an off-ball guy now.
Yeah.
He's playing the position like he's like supposed to play.
His first year since he came into the league, he didn't get one MVP vote.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah, I know.
I think he'll be all right. He's got enough.
Good thing. The thing is with this series, it's a little bit different. Is that what's his name? The big guy from the Lakers.
Anthony Davis.
He's handing it to to
Looney and all.
Looney. I mean,
Yeah.
Looney's 22 rebounds a game.
Well, he had a bunch.
And
They both had like 20-something rebounds, but
really,
it didn't matter. It didn't matter. He got 30 points. His defense is what's really, really impressive.
yeah,
Anthony Davis is like constantly playing really good defense. Offensively, he goes on and off. You never really sure
Yeah.
what you're going to get. But the fact of the matter is that team is a really, really good defensive team. And they're going to need Steph Curry and Clay to shoot lights out.
I think the problem really is Poole. And
But Poole's not like he was last year.
no, he's not. He's not playing as well. And even what's his name? The guy that was out for a while that just came back.
Of Clay?
No. Oh my gosh, I can't think of his name. The guy that used to be on the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Oh.
And anyways, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. We should be prepared. But they seem to have some holes, Golden State, this year.
Well, I was surprised that it was such a fight with the Kings.
Yeah.
I mean, and the Kings, I mean, they're a great team.
Yeah.
And I always feel bad for the Kings. You know,
Yeah.
it's never their time, it seems. But if I had to put money down on this series, I would still say like it's just Golden State is until they are dethroned
Yep.
again. I just I would never vote against them, except if they win against. I could see them going. The Celtics would be a very hard team for Golden State to.
I think if they got into the finals with the Celtics, I just don't think that Tatum and Brown have the
I don't think it's just them now, though.
the mental.
Well, Brown always
toughness.
disappears. Brown disappears.
Well, and I
But-
love Brown. He's my favorite, but he does disappear sometimes. He goes into the dribble down a rabbit hole,
Yeah.
and loses the ball. It's caught in his feet. You know,
Well, maybe last night will be
Yes.
a night to learn from,
Yes.
right? Because that was the way that if you play like that, I don't think anybody's beating you because you're going to
I
play
agree.
great defense.
I would be interested to see the Celtics against the Lakers. That would be
That would be classic.
of something. You know,
And I honestly think that the thing about it's like it going in, you're like, in my mind, I'm like, oh, the Celtics probably do pretty well in that. But then it's when you watch the way LeBron and his like crew handle their business, they just seem like a tough team to deal with.
well,
So many different angles.
yeah, I agree. I think what I'm trying to say about the Celtics is I can't depend on them from night to night to know what I'm going to get.
Well, that's what you're a
Tonight,
fan. That's the
I can get 140 points or I can get 83.
Yeah.
You know what I
But
mean?
you're a fan, and I think that's what a fan. That's your job. Your job is to
Yeah.
look at everybody and say, I don't trust any of you.
So what team is the team?
What team do I think will come out on top?
Golden State?
The thing is, Golden State look tired. They do look exhausted. They're getting older.
Yeah.
Draymond Green is like he still plays really good defense, but he also seems to like have these mental.
He's good to lose you one game
Yeah,
by some dumb play.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And in the past,
But he can also win you a game.
he's always can win you a game. You know what I mean? He loses a game, but he wins a game. I don't know about that anymore.
No, yeah, and he's certainly not he was never really a reliable offensive player.
Yeah.
But he's not.
It's his
not-
passing and his rebounding and his
Yeah.
defense. You know.
Oh, I wanted to ask you before. What did you think of Dylan Brooks and what he said about LeBron James? And then afterwards, he's like, "I'm never gonna change. That's just the kind of guy I am. I like to poke
And
the
now
bear.
Memphis is saying, "See you
They
later."
don't want you anymore."
That's just, I watched him earlier in the year, and every time I watched him, he was more concerned with like fighting and getting his point across than making a good play or a good pass.
Yeah.
Or,
Well, I don't
or-
understand why he was shooting the three. There was a video of him warming up, and it was just him getting booed as he's warming up, and he's shooting the three. He didn't make a single three. I would have made one of those. I would have made at least one. He just, yeah.
That would have been more of a series if
Well, if
They-
Ja wasn't hurt either. Oh,
well, it was that, but
they won that.
no, it was their big men. Both of their big men were out for the season there.
Well, and that's the
um,
thing. The Lakers are like big guy.
That's right. They have, you know, and they even have a backup kid he's like 7'3".
Yeah, they're all
you know what I mean?
gigantic.
They're all gigantic. So
It's going to be tough. Golden State's going to have to shoot a lot of threes to win. But I mean, if LeBron wins this year, it would be insane if he won.
Yeah.
It would be.
it would be, and I don't want that.
So the Denver series, you think Denver?
Denver.
the Heat versus the Knicks, you think?
That's a tough one. I think that's going to go. I don't.
I think it's going to go 7.
I don't know if once again, no matter who comes out of that, if the Celtics come out of it, right?
Yeah.
I don't trust myself with the Knicks or the Heat.
I trust the Celtics.
Once again, I'm a fan.
I trust the Celtics more than I trust the Knicks. You know,
you do.
I do, because they've been there before.
Yeah.
They've been together.
They've
their chemistry is great, but the Knicks have great chemistry, but I just don't think that they have the offensive firepower.
Yeah.
And last night was proof positive. Everywhere you look, there's a person who can shoot the 3.
Yeah.
And that's dangerous. And then you play really good defense.
It's true.
So that's why I would say the Celtics come out of the East. And I would say that Denver is a team that, like, they should come out of the East. They are a very good team. They've been together for a while.
Yeah.
They have a MVP caliber player on their team who seems impossible to stop.
Oh, I've just thought about that guy with Denver, Aaron. The forward there, Aaron. Oh gosh. Anyways,
Aaron Gordon.
Aaron Gordon.
Yeah, the big. Is it? No,
it's not.
I don't know.
Anyways, he's a big power forward, can shoot pretty good, but he's a big tough kid alongside Jokic. That would be a pretty good series. I don't know how the Celtics did against.
No, I don't know how anybody. Denver is just it's the anomaly. They're very, very good.
Yeah.
And they're somehow, despite being the number 1 seed out of the West, where it's very hard to be the number 1 seed.
Yep.
Despite that, they have gone under the radar.
It's true.
And
I think that they could beat LA, and I think that they could beat Golden State too.
And if the Knicks well, they're not going to win. Let me just say that as a Knicks fan. I love them dearly. But if they won the NBA championship with this squad, it would be one of the greatest.
Yep.
It would be one of the greatest things ever.
Well, you never say never.
Never say. Well, sometimes when I say never, it happens. So I sometimes say never.
I worry about them more with the Heat.
The Heat are,
because I know
the Knicks. That's a rivalry that's been going back since I was a kid. It's.
But I don't understand the Heat. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
that's what's the problem.
How are they doing this? You know what I mean?
And I guess that's the thing. If I was a Celtics fan, I would be like, if I go against the Heat, they were supposed to lose to Milwaukee, who is the top team.
A lot of people are saying it's just like the bubble. The Heat sneak through, and LA sneaks through, and then nobody even watches. And that was LeBron's championship. You know what I mean? In the bubble, which was kind of.
It'd be nice though. Lakers versus Celtics would be an interesting classic matchup.
Well, I think it's really good because it's exciting. It's not the same old thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to say that I was impressed by, once again, they got a new coach. Atlanta played really well.
I did not expect them to.
I did not either. And,
Trae Young
was unbelievable, but all those other guys were unbelievable too. Collins, who people give a lot of crap to. He was hitting shots. That's that new coach, the guy that used to be the coach in Utah.
Yeah.
He came in and immediately.
That's it. Coaches have bigger impacts.
Yeah.
I mean,
and Darvin Ham is pretty impressive with LA. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
He's a player.
A lot of these coaches. Look at your coach, this young dude who's sitting there like fighting players during practice, like a crazy person. He's going to hurt somebody, and then that'll be the end of his coaching career if he continues. He does a great job.
Yes. Well, he really got a lot of crap, I guess, because he said, "Oh, I didn't have them prepared for the first game," so they immediately, I guess,
the sports media
went crazy on him.
Of course.
So and they said, "So what'd you do different last night?" He goes, "Oh, I had them prepared." That's
what he should say. These jerks. That's what's so funny about the sports media.
So I know we're going over time. Do you want to talk about the AL East or baseball at all?
Let's save baseball for the next episode.
Sounds good.
But we can say. So you think that the Knicks and Heat? Did you pick
the Knicks and the Heat? All right, I'm going to say the Knicks.
All right, so the Knicks, Denver versus Phoenix, Denver.
You
don't have to pick the Celtics versus the 76ers.
I'll pick them, but it should be 6, but it might be 7.
Mm-hmm. And then
you know what I mean.
And then Golden State versus Lakers.
I don't know. I was sure Golden State was going to run them out of town. And in the first game in their own building, they didn't.
The 76ers the 76ers, won their first game too. And Golden State, they always lose like a first game or a second game.
You're right.
They'll go down 0-2 like they did in the first series.
Well, this is like my son said, we're in the winner's seat. I go, what do you mean? Either Golden State or LA has to lose. They can't both win. So I guess I'll go with Golden State.
Who would you rather face, Golden State?
I want them both to lose. So
well, they have a good chance of doing it.
Yeah. So I'll say Golden State.
Okay.
I'll say Golden State.
All right. I would say Golden State's going to win. I think Denver's going to win.
Yeah.
I think the Celtics are going to win. And I'll pick the Knicks just because it's
and thinking about it now, I think maybe it's Denver's year to come out of the West.
That'd be great. I would love that because I'm sick and tired of both the Lakers and Golden State.
Yes.
I want to see somebody new.
I agree.
All right. Well, that is all for this episode of the Unnamed Sports Podcast. I had to look back to make sure I said the right title. We will see you next time where we'll talk a little bit of baseball and wherever else we are in the NBA playoffs.
Okay.
So,
thanks.
See ya.
See ya.